Somewhere, thousands of years ago, someone was lying awake just like you are right now. It's the dead of night and sleep just won't come. Frustrated, restless, wide awake when the whole world is asleep. But here's the thing, you're not the first to feel this. You're not the first. People have been lying awake at night for tens of thousands of years. This has been happening since the very beginning of humanity. But their darkness wasn't like yours. Real darkness. Not dim, not shadowy, completely, totally black. You could hold your hand in front of your face and see nothing at all. And into that darkness came every sound imaginable. Every rustle, every crack, every breath of wind. Every single sound meant something, and your brain had one job: figure out what. Was it the wind, or was it something else? Something that hunts in the dark. That fear wasn't weakness, it was survival. The fear that kept them alive long enough to have us. It was a built-in defense system, running exactly as designed. But there was one thing that changed everything about the night. Fire. Fire changed everything. It pushed back the darkness and gave permission to actually rest. As long as the fire burned, the group had a chance. Fire became protection. Fire became safety. But someone always had to watch it. Someone had to stay alert while everyone else slept. This was the night shift, the original security system. The night shift. Different members took turns passing the watch through the night. One would lie back down, another would take their place. It wasn't planned on a schedule, it just happened naturally. In fact, research shows the whole camp was almost never fully asleep at once. Someone was always stirring, always awake, covering for the rest. Different ages, different sleep patterns, perfectly overlapping. So if you were awake in the middle of the night, you weren't always failing. Sometimes you were simply doing your job. And in that quiet hour, they looked up. The sky back then was nothing like the sky you know. Thousands of stars, the entire galaxy stretched out overhead. The sky was everything to them. It was their calendar, their map, and their storybook all at once. They could read the stars the way you read a familiar face. A calendar, a compass, and a story written across the night sky. They passed that knowledge down generation after generation. So when sleep wouldn't come, they weren't staring at a blank ceiling. They were staring at the most beautiful thing in their entire world. Not empty hours, hours full of sky. And honestly, that might have been a better way to spend 3 a.m. But let's be honest, it wasn't always peaceful. Sometimes it was just pain, a bad tooth, an old injury, and nothing at all to take for it. No painkillers, no relief, just the ache and the dark. Sometimes it was the cold, creeping in as the fire burned low. No blankets from a closet, just body heat and whoever was close enough to share it. The cold got in, and there was nothing to stop it. Sometimes it was hunger, gnawing away after a bad hunt. An empty stomach that made sleep feel impossible. Some nights it was simply hunger, plain and heavy. And sometimes it was worry, the exact same worry you feel. Will there be enough food? Is the weather turning? What was that sound? Different details, same 3 a.m. spiral. The thoughts wouldn't stop no matter how tired they were. Question after question circling in the dark. The worry was always the same, only the details changed. So how did they cope when sleep just wouldn't come? How did they actually get through it? Their answer was the exact opposite of what we do today. They didn't fight it, they simply let it happen. They didn't panic, they didn't resist. For most of human history, sleep wasn't one long, unbroken block. There was a first sleep and a second sleep. You'd fall asleep not long after dark and sleep for a few hours. Then, naturally, you'd wake up in the middle of the night. This wasn't a problem, it was completely expected. It was simply part of the night's natural rhythm. During that waking hour, some tended the fire. Others talked quietly with whoever else was awake.
quiet conversations shared in the dark. It was a normal, quiet ritual, nothing to fear at all. Some simply lay there calm and drowsy, half dreaming. A peaceful, familiar stretch of time in the middle of the night. And then, when it passed, they drifted back into sleep. Naturally, easily, into their second sleep. Your own body might still remember this rhythm even now. That waking hour might be older than you think. And during that waking hour, the dreams mattered too. Waking with a dream still fresh and vivid in mind. To them, dreams weren't nonsense, they were messages. Dreams carried meaning, guidance from somewhere beyond. They'd sit with the dream, talk it through, try to understand it. A dream could point towards an answer, a direction, a warning. Entire decisions were shaped by what a dream revealed. Where to hunt, when to move, who to trust. So what changed? Why don't we sleep this way anymore? One invention rewired the entire human night. Artificial light. Suddenly, night could be pushed back with the flip of a switch. The sun's natural rhythm got replaced by something artificial. The two-part sleep pattern quietly disappeared. It compressed into one long block, and the old rhythm faded away. Within a couple of generations, we forgot it was ever normal. Now, waking at night just feels like something's wrong. And here's the strange part. We are without question the safest sleepers in human history. The safest sleepers who have ever existed. No predators, no threats waiting in the dark. Locked doors, warm beds, heated rooms, total safety. And yet, somehow, we sleep worse than ever. Because we replaced the old threat with a brand new one. A glowing rectangle sitting there in the dark. This new threat has no claws and no face, which somehow makes it even harder to shake off. It's an email, a bill, a worry with no shape at all. Fire used to hold the darkness back. It pushed the danger away, kept the night calm. But the phone does the exact opposite. It invites the danger in. So maybe the first step is simply putting it down. So what can we actually take from all of this? Maybe it starts with sitting still the way they once did. Stop fighting the waking. Stop treating it like failure. The struggle itself is what keeps you awake more than anything else. The panic is the real problem, not the wakefulness, never the wakefulness. It was always the fear of being awake, not the waking itself. They looked up at the stars and simply let the time pass. Calm, patient, completely unafraid of the dark. They trusted the night to eventually let them go. And they drifted back to sleep without forcing anything. Because sleep always came back. It always did. The whole camp would settle again, peaceful, safe. And morning always arrived, exactly when it needed to. Morning always came. It never failed to. A new day, a new sunrise, another night survived. So the next time you wake at 3 a.m., try not reaching for the glowing rectangle. Don't reach for it. Not this time. Just sit there, calm in the quiet dark. Let yourself simply exist in that stillness for a while. There's nothing broken about this moment. You are not broken. You never were. You're simply human, doing things humans have always done. This is one of the most ancient things